Let's take a look at the Reading 8 quiz, the second reading from Frantz Fanon's The Wretched of the Earth. Question 1. Where is Europe headed? Fanon says here, Europe has gained such a mad and reckless momentum that it has lost control and reason and is heading at dizzying speed towards the brink from which we would be advised to remove ourselves as quickly as possible. So, what's the answers? Fanon says it's heading towards the brink. I don't know. It's quite interesting, isn't it? He's writing in around 1960, and he's giving advice. He's prophesying the crisis of Europe, Europe heading towards its own destruction. I don't know. Practically speaking, it's part of a section of the book where he's saying that you shouldn't try to emulate Europe, that the former colonized shouldn't try to catch up with or emulate the Europeans, and he's giving reasons. I mean, he's giving a general reason why he thinks it's heading towards the brink. That's I guess you have to piece that together from the rest of what he wrote. That's the answer. Question 2. What question must be re-examined? The answer to that is the question of man. Today we are witnessing a stasis of Europe. Not sure what stasis means. Stasis means an uprising in Greek, um, ancient Greek. I'm not sure what he means by stasis here. Oh, he means stagnation, right? Different meaning. Comrades, let us flee this stagnation where dialectics has gradually turned into a logic of the status quo. Let us re examine the question of man. This ending is very interesting philosophically. Believes that um, when the colonized liberate themselves, they have to make a totally new type of society. And part of that will be re examining the question of man. I'm sure by man he means humanity, of what it means to be a human being. So that's the question. Re examine the question of man. Question 3. What matters now? Obviously, according to Fanon. He says, what matters now is not a question of profitability, not a question of increased productivity, not a question of production rates. No, it is not a question. It is not a question of back to nature. It is the very basic question of not dragging man in directions which mutilate him. So I think that's really the answer. What matters now is what I said in the video. My interpretation of what he's saying is that what matters now is not making the same dehumanizing mistakes that he says the Europeans made. It doesn't necessarily say what you should do. I think what he's saying matters now is what you shouldn't do. Shouldn't mutilate human beings. I mean, doesn't necessarily mean physically. He means mutilate them psychologically or spiritually, I think. Finally, question 4. What must we endeavor to create? So at the end, he says, for Europe, for ourselves, and for humanity, comrades, we must make a new start, develop a new way of thinking, and endeavor to create a new man. So that's the answer: to create a new man, a new human being, a new version of human nature or human life or the human condition. So he has obviously very grand. I don't think it's unfair to say he has very grandiose expectations of what will come out of decolonization, what will come out of the self liberation of the colonized. It will not just be throwing off an oppressor, it will be creating a new version of humanity.